Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your Wednesday Wisdom with Spirit. I'm Jeanette Byro. I'm a medium and a cosmic channeler. And every Wednesday, I tune into Spirit and see what the message is. I don't use cards or anything. I'm just opening up the clairs and seeing who's there. So let's dive in because, man, I don't know about all of you, but this whole idea of sleeping the last couple days has like not been very successful for me. I've been feeling so much energy, so much cosmic energy, solar energy, the geomagnetic storm energy. Like it just, to me, that just wires me up. Um, and that's, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? But it's a thing. And so it makes for eventful nights and slow mornings. So, anyways, regardless of how you're feeling, thank you for showing up today. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here for a long time, thank you so much, as always, for your kindness, your comments. I read them all and I love you all. So let's dive into Wednesday. I'm just going to close my eyes and see who's here, and we'll just go from there. Okay. Okay. This is coming from the Three Guides of the Light, and they're talking about this resistance energy. Yes. I'm curious how many of you are feeling a presence in the midpoint of your body, so kind of solar plexus area. And because I had to stop for a second, I'm like, this isn't just about me, right? I'm like, wait, this is the collective general message. They're like, yes, this is the collective general message. So what they're showing is right around the solar plexus point, which is right kind of above your belly button, sort of where your stomach is. There is this resistancy in our physical bodies between the upper chakras and the lower chakras. And they're saying what's really interesting is there's this syncing, they need to sync up. The upper and the lower need to sync up. Usually they sync up around the heart space, but they're showing me that this is actually between the heart space and the solar plexus. And they're telling me, oh, okay, yeah. They're saying a lot of people are feeling these energies moving through, but there's this disconnect. And they're saying if you were to focus on creating this link between solar plexus and heart, almost like they're showing me the images of like these columns. And these columns in my mind, the way they're showing it to me, actually look like fluorescent light bulbs, like those long fluorescent bulbs. And that if you kind of put some of those columns in there, it allows that light energy to transfer down. Because what's happening, they're saying, is the energy from the geomagnetic storms is really coming in strong on our upper chakras. So many of you are probably feeling more vivid dream state, um, seeing more spiritual activity, and like seeing the energies. And that can look like orbs. That can look like kind of that smoky haze off of the pavement in the summertime. I'm not saying it's the smoky haze on the pavement, but when you look somewhere in your room, you see something similar to that. It's amplifying our upper chakras and our connection to spirit in the higher realms. So it's making the veil, like we said before, very, very thin. So you're seeing and experiencing so much more. But what needs to happen is we need to pull all of this energy down through our chakras to the lower chakras and root it into the ground. And when we root it into the ground is when we can feel very sturdy in this new energy. And so they're saying for many in general, the disconnect is happening between the solar plexus and the heart. And they're saying what this can look like is this kind of push-pull between what you feel about something and a judgment you have about something. Because what's happening is the heart and the solar plexus, when they're not on the same page, when they're not in alignment, they kind of like, they're showing to me they line up off. Instead of lining up together, they line up off and they miss the mark. And what that can look like, because your solar plexus is what I call your BS detector, right? Like it's that gut feeling, it's that knowing that we have. We know something, we feel it that way. And then we have the heart feeling that is the intuitive, softer, like let me feel my way through this. When they're on the same page, it is this like unstoppable force of centered self where you can tune into anything and everything and basically get a feel for it without question, right? Because you feel it in one, you feel it in the other, and they sync up. What's happening is for many people, that sync is off. And so the heart is sending it and it's going nowhere, and the solar plexus is sending it and it's going nowhere. And that's making for this real disconnect between all the information from the upper chakras and all the information from the lower chakras. So it's not that you're not grounded and it's not that you're not connected. It's actually that there's a disconnect in between. Okay. So they're showing me the way in which to really reconnect that. Um, Physically, one way to do that is put one hand on your solar plexus, one hand on your heart, and just imagine the two of them coming into alignment. That's one way you can do it. They're saying another way you can do it is leaning into the experiences coming from each without judgment or hesitation. Because again, I think we talked about this a little earlier about the judgment energy. And yeah, fair. They're saying how this judgment energy is trying to show us something, but in many cases, we're coming up against a wall and we're like, I don't know what to do. And it's because of this disconnect. So, whether you're noticing you're judging a lot of things or you're really fearful of the vulnerability in a lot of things, it's because this solar plexus and heart are disconnected. So that's why it's really important to reconnect it, because not only will it bring more peace and harmony to what's going on within, but it'll also let this cosmic and solar energy move through your body like a conduit into the earth. And then the earth energy comes back up out through you, right? Like it so much of this month is also energy moving through your being that anytime you feel that it's not, it's trying to highlight uh, where the disconnect is or where there's a blockage or where there's disharmony or whatever. It's showing you. So wherever you're feeling that, again, they're showing me the majority of people, it's between the solar plexus and the heart. For some of you, you may be experiencing more headaches and there may be a blockage in your third eye, your brow chakra. Um, okay, because I was like, are you going through all the chakras? And they're like, well, there's some specific ones. So headaches are showing up with a blocked brow chakra, third eye chakra, ringing in the ears, and top of the head pressure is connected to the crown chakra. Like right on the top of your head here, if you're feeling like a pressure there, you're getting ringing in the ears, it's crown chakra. So that needs to be opened. For some people, there's also throat chakra energy coming through. That needs like humming, singing, speaking, expressing. Heart chakra, we know. Solar plexus, we know. Sacral chakra, I get a sense for a lot of people, sacral chakra is actually doing very well. And root chakra is doing very well too. That's really interesting. But if you're feeling any disconnect in your sacral chakra, that would be like a serious lack of energy or motivation. And you can still be tired though in these energies, but still have your sacral chakra alive and awakened. But if you're feeling like, I don't think so, working on some sacral chakra meditations, hand on your lower belly, bringing energy into that spot is helpful. And then root chakra, of course, if you're feeling really kind of uprooted and in the energy of fear and uh, stress and worry, like you don't feel grounded or safe, then the root chakra is a little bit off. So that's interesting. Again, you might see which one is more highlighted for you. But again, they're saying the majority that is the disconnect between heart and solar plexus. And these two, heart and solar plexus, love to work together. They really do. They love to work as a team. Uh, so once you get that back into sync, you'll probably notice you feel a lot more um, flowing and at ease in these energies. That's something to consider. And they're also saying they're like, another thing too with the judgment piece, they're like, you're not doing it wrong. None of you are doing this wrong. You're learning as you go and you're learning rapidly because things are changing rapidly. They're like, so again, don't even jump on any point of judgment in getting it wrong or feeling what you're feeling. They're like, this is rapid ascension. This is happening fast and it's amplified by this solar maximum, like we've been talking about. So very interesting. Okay. Well, I will leave that with all of you for now. Check in with your chakras, see what's going on, pay attention to your energy in your body, and be that conduit, because that's going to make a big difference in how you perceive and move with this energy. So I will leave that with all of you for now. Thank you as always so much for joining me, and I look forward to connecting with you all tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone.